think we got it. All right, guys. So today is a little bit different of a video because it has been 60 degrees for the last couple days. Unfortunately, that means ice fishing is pretty much over and done with unless we get another cold spell and I go up north. But it is time to start switching gears to the fun stuff behind me. So I did pull turkey tags for Illinois this year, so hopefully we can get on some turkeys. I am going to basically go through and reset up my Mathews Lift X and go through and just make sure all the specs are right and make sure that this thing is ready to go so we can start shooting again, get dialed in for turkeys. Before we get into today's video is that please go subscribe. A lot of you guys are not subscribed. It's free. All you gotta do is click a button. It's one click. As well as we are doing a giveaway. So for probably until the end of March, if you subscribe to the YouTube, follow the Instagram LVM Outdoors, and follow LVM Gun Dogs on Instagram and Facebook, you will be entered to win a gun case. Let me grab it real quick. So, in here is a brand new, in the packaging, tags and all, Bulldog. I want to say it is, let's look it up. Let's look at it. This is the Bulldog Deluxe single 36-inch gun case in this gray. Tags are all still on it, brand new. This is not paid promotion. They are not paying me to do this. We want to get engagement up. We want to do more of these giveaways. However, this is the first one, right? So if you follow LVM Gun Dogs on Instagram and Facebook, you follow LVM Outdoors on Instagram, and you give us a subscribe, right? You will be entered to give this away. We will pick one of you guys at random. I'll videotape it so you guys know if there's no cheat, whatever. And we will send this to you. We'll reach out to you. We will send this to you. And you guys will hopefully be excited to win this. So, little incentive to get the channel growing and hopefully, get you guys following and paying attention a little bit more. So without further ado, let's get into today's video. All right, so the first thing that I am going to do is check the overall axle to axle length, make sure that that hasn't changed, just because I have shot this a lot and I haven't tuned it since. So we'll make sure that it's all the same and it's supposed to be in spec. So just like any other bow, right? They're meant to be in spec, right? Some you're supposed to, you can run a little bit faster one end of the cam versus the other, but Mathews are made to be perfectly in spec. That's where you get the most performance. That's where you will get most of the bow. So we're gonna burn an inch just because it is the most accurate. We'll go right here to this top axle. And we're there. And so we are about 1/8 of an inch too long. So that's where we get to use this fun thing, because as you notice, I do not have a bow press. I don't have the money for a bow press. So if anyone out there wants to sponsor me, give me a bow press, let me use it, let me test it. I'll give you reviews even though they've been tested. I would greatly appreciate it. However, in that time, we have this very cool tool that we can use on a Mathews bow, and that is the SAS system, right? So I just got this from Lancaster. Hopefully we are going to put it to the test today to hopefully get our bow back into spec. So stick with us. Let's see how well this works. All right. So first things first is we have to back out these limb bolts 4 rotations per side. dumb down the poundage so we can properly adjust these cables. So stick with me while I do that. All right, so now we have these limb bolts backed out, 4 turns per side. And now what we're going to do is we are going to take this, it says to place it quiver side down, and we are going to take our fun little string and we are going to place one end at this top cam. We're going to take this cable and bring it in and wrap it around this bottom cam. Boom. So now what that does is, if you can see, that has completely loosened the cable that we were pulling right here, right? So now what we are able to do is we can take this out of this bottom cam, and what we'll do is we will put a couple twists into here. So we are going to, let's see, so much freaking wax on here, I can't tell which way this is twisted. One, two. So I put two twists into this. I'll loop it back down, loop it back on. Now we're going to simply pull this until we can get this off and slowly let it back out. So now we're going to do the same thing with the other side. Put it here on this loop. We're going to pull this cable now down. If I can get it. Boom, there we go. Pull this cable until we can fully, switch it around. Take this off, put this back on over here, and then pull this cable all the way until we can put this on. Make sure that's on, and boom. Now that's cable slick. So now what we're gonna do is we are going to put a couple twists into this cable. So So we now have this bad boy perfectly in tune, at least based off of these holes. Hopefully you guys can see that. That's running perfectly through there. And if we go over to this, that is running perfectly through there. Can't really tell. That's better probably angle for you guys. But so with both of our timing holes aligned, I'll double check this in a draw board when I get the chance to. But we have also, if we look, we burn an inch here. Ooh. Burn an inch and double check. We are sitting right at 33 inches axle to axle. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to get this set up and make sure, put a D-loop back on, put my knocking points back on, shoot it through paper, and we will see how well and how easy it is to get a bullet hole. So stick around for that. All right, so to get my knocking points, first we want to make sure that this can freely move around. Perfect. Love that. Second, what I'm going to do is I am going to take my bow square, put that in, and just raise it up just a smidge. Make sure my rest is fully up, and I am simply going to move this down until it just barely touches, and I will then take a marker and follow this line. Make sure it's on there. Right there. And I am going to follow this to my 0 mark. That is where my bottom knocking point is going to run. And we're going to do a couple ties on the top, a couple ties on the bottom. I will show you that when we are done. All right. So as you guys can see, if it can focus, we have our 2 ties and a little bit of slop in there, right? So there's our 2 ties, a little bit of slop. Perfect. Now, it is time to do our D-loop. All right, guys, welcome back. Apologies. It is the next day. My phone died and it was getting late, so I just decided to resume the next day. So what you guys missed, if anything, was I got my D-loop on. We finished off with our 2 knocking points, got my D-loop on. Now, it's time to shoot this thing through paper. Well, considering I don't have a paper tuner, this is just a box. I put a piece of paper up, have some nails. It works just fine. So we're gonna get this thing tuned up, shoot through paper, and let's get to it. All right, so I got my piece of paper up there. We are going to send an arrow and see what kind of tear we get. And I'll show you guys the results and what we are going to do to fix it if it's not a bullet hole. Pray to God. There's a little bit. We're going to reconfirm. We're going to shoot one more time. But it looked like a straight low, which means I have to adjust knocking point. So if we come over here, we see we have a very low tear, almost dead center low. So we are going to adjust that with the knocking points. We don't want to touch the rest. Don't want to touch the rest. That should be 0, 0. I have to adjust the knocking point. All right, so I moved up my knocking point just a little bit. I got new piece of paper there. So we will see what it shoots. Test 1. Tuned up, knocked up a little bit, knocking point. Let's see what this does for us. Ooh. That might be money. I'll show you. That might be pretty money. Take a look. I mean, maybe just ever so slightly low left. So I'll give it, in this case, I'll give it a couple clicks on the rest. Maybe 1, 2, maybe. All right, so I moved it down 2 clicks. 2 clicks down on the rest. You loosen up this set screw, turn it down 2 clicks, and we'll see what this does now. All right, I'll show you guys again. Ignore that. Show you guys one more time. Shot 1, shot 2. That is so close. Shoot it one more time, and I'll show you the results. Still, maybe just a skosh low, but that's pretty darn close. That is going to do it for me for right now. I might come back, touch it up with just a little bit, maybe bump it down a fraction still, but for right now, that's good. I'm gonna get shooting, get this stuff, make sure my tune and everything stays where it's at, and then maybe we can come back and paper tune in another video. But for the time being, I know I said that we are gearing up for turkey. So with that being said, I will be doing a kind of turkey gear setup video, hopefully soon. Also have a nice little match scheduled for archery coming up, or at least should be. And then after that, it will hopefully be turkey season. So, you know, thank you guys for watching. This is how I set up my Lift X 33 for this upcoming archery 3D and tournament and hunting season. So thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys next time.